All right, hey guys, I wanted to come on and I just wanted to mention that it's not looking good for the whole YouTube thing. Now, the past couple of days, I have been watching a couple different videos on YouTube because, of course, you know that one of the things that I like to do is comment on things that are out there that are absolute nonsense and they're only showing you one piece of something. They're not showing you the other piece. They're not showing you the other side, right? So they might say, this is good for you, but they're not showing you the dark side, all right? That needs to happen in order for people to make informed decisions, right? Isn't that what an informed decision is? It's here's the benefit, here's the risk, or this is the narrative, but this is like the deeper story, right? That's informed consent, informed decision making. And I think anyone who's followed my channel knows that that is what this channel is about. It's about helping people to see the dark side of things, or just shed light on things that I think are valuable to share with people that maybe they never thought about before. But I feel like my niche, what I was really trying to accomplish, is to provide people the information that you're not getting, that's not out there. It's just not out there, okay? Because of censorship, and really just the overwhelming majority of people aren't with the program. They're just not with the program. And I am not saying that everybody out there is bad, and I'm not saying that like I'm the only one. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you look out there, okay, there's nobody that I'm aware of that is connecting all the dots. And I'm not saying I'm connecting every single dot, but I have been trying to really connect the dots so that you guys can have a broader perspective of what's really going on in all of the different industries and systems, because they're all part of the same tree. Yeah. And how right now, all of the podcasters and the platforms that are out there that are talking about all of the buzz topics right now, they're not giving you all the information. They're only giving you the snippets of information to try to steer you in a certain direction, okay? And it's absolute nonsense. It's nonsense. Now, it's not to say that there aren't elements of truth to what they're saying. Yeah, it might give you this benefit, but there's also a whole bunch of undesirable effects and a whole bunch of negatives. And you really need to be aware of those things before you decide to put something in your body, on your body, do something to yourself, that you don't have all the information to make an informed decision, okay? And again, that's what this channel has been about. That's why I can't do a skincare video without talking about the transhuman agenda, because it's all connected. Do you know what you're doing? Do you understand the path that you are on? Like with your health, you know, do you understand what is happening? I'm sorry, my bangs are unruly. It's because it's hot and humid, and yeah, it's the downfall to bangs in this type of weather. Although I like bangs. Yeah. Plus I put a zinc balm on my face the other day and it's greasy. I like greasy because it's good for my skin, but it wrecks my hair too. So it's a combination of things. But anyway, I apologize. I wouldn't care if I couldn't see myself, but it's annoying to see my bangs are like, I just cut them the other day too, because they were like hanging in my eyes, and at least this way they're not too bad, but it's still, they're still a little bit on the long side. I do like them a little shorter, but then if I do flick them with a thing, straightening iron, to like flick them, I don't want them too short, but this time of year they just hang. A little non-important thing, sorry about that. But I have been commenting on some of these channels, just providing information that is totally verifiable, It's the science. Like, it's not even debatable. Even Google will tell you this is the science of it. We know about nicotine's addictive properties. We know about the negative side effects of nicotine. That's not even like, that's not debatable. We know that it can cause dependency and addiction, and it does. Go look at all of the people that are trying to get off nicotine. Okay, it's not pretty. Oh, they overuse it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. If I drank 6 cups of chamomile tea, it might make me feel a little shitty because that's a lot of tea, but it isn't going to make me addicted. Okay? I'm not going to get addicted to chamomile tea because it's not a drug. All right? But nicotine is a drug. And it's kind of like the people that say, well, sugar's not a stimulant because it's not a drug. I don't know. Sugar, it acts like a drug. It has all of the characteristics of a drug, okay? Leads to addictive behavior, leads to dependency, alters your daily behavior so that you can get your sugar fix, okay? You are miserable when you don't get it. Miserable. As a drug. That's a drug. And I've heard people say, well, if you go without food, you're going to be miserable. So all food is a drug. And that just makes me laugh. This is where people are at. Okay, this is where people are at. Really? Yeah, it leaves me speechless. Because you cannot rationalize with someone who's retarded. And I just went to respond to a comment on YouTube. It was a comment that actually got left. Like, it didn't get deleted. I was shocked. And the guy responded, and he was so vague with his answer. And again, misleading. And I just clarified it with science, and it instantly gets deleted. Same thing on the nicotine channels. My comments instantly get deleted. On the skincare channels promoting peptides and all that shit, my comments get deleted. So there is no free speech. Zero. You can only say what the system agrees with, or you can even say things that the system doesn't agree with if they think it's not a threat. And I've talked about this with the truth movement, right? The reason the truth movement is still around and able to do their thing is because it's not a threat. It's not a threat because it's not the truth that matters. That truth doesn't matter. So what? So what if that's true? And that's always been my big thing. So what? So what? What does that change? Nothing. But when you give people information that can actually change something, where people can actually make a choice and change something, that's not allowed. It pisses me off. Like, yeah, I guess I have some unhealed wounds because I'm pissed off that I can't speak freely. I've got unhealed trauma because I'm mad because the system doesn't let me speak freely. Yeah. And then I've even heard people say, well, create your own platform. YouTube doesn't need to allow free speech. Oh, really? Oh, really? Because free speech is something that we are guaranteed, okay? Through the Constitution, if you have any value in the Constitution, because that's a whole nother conversation, right? But let's just say you particularly find a little bit of value in the Constitution and we are supposed to have free speech. Isn't the role of government to support our rights, which is free speech? Because let me tell you, if YouTube was being prejudiced and censoring people because they didn't like the color of their skin or their sexual orientation, you can be sure that the government would step in and put the fucking smack down, right? Because the government is going to step in when they feel like people's rights have been violated, but heaven forbid it be with free speech. So whatever comes out of my mouth is clearly not protected by the government because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Because they don't want the truth out. They don't want it. So they're not motivated to try to protect it. But they don't care if they protect somebody who's got colored skin. They don't care about that because, again, it's meaningless. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if anybody takes offense to that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's meaningless. It's meaningless. So what if you have dark skin and you're able to like go do Matrix shit? You're still playing the Matrix game. They don't care. You're not a threat to them. You're not a threat to them. And if you did have colored skin and you start spewing real truth, the kind that fucking matters, guaranteed you're going to be booted off that platform. Okay, it's going to have nothing to do with your skin. This is how they play the game, right? This is how they fucking play it. They're a bunch of, I don't even want to say snakes. Snakes are cool animals. I don't like snakes because they scare the shit out of me, but I understand that they're cool animals. They have a role in the ecosystem and they're part of nature, and I understand that. So I don't really want to compare these people to snakes because there's nothing that they compare to because they are the lowest of low. They're a criminal organization, a criminal enterprise, and they control all the platforms and all the different systems. And how is it that I put a video out and it starts getting likes in the first couple of days and then all of a sudden it stops and it just doesn't go anywhere? It just fucking stops. Just like my comments. I put a comment and it appears. I click post and it posts. And then when I go back to check, they're gone. They're gone. All my comments are gone. So yeah, my unhealed trauma is really coming to the surface here, isn't it? That's another thing, right? You can't argue with retards. This is a real thing that more and more people need to be up in arms against. And it goes back to that same thing. Nobody cares unless it's them who's getting censored. And if you're not getting censored, you're not saying anything that matters. And I've said this about the carnivore community. How come all the carnivore community people aren't getting censored? Because it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit what you eat. They really don't. They really don't. They don't care what you eat. Because they're getting you. They're getting you a million other ways. They just don't care. Because that truth is not going to set you free. That truth may make you feel healthier and better. Goodness knows it did for me. And other people that I've suggested that to just try it. People that have tried everything, right? Like me. People that have literally tried everything. Vegan, Weston Price, you know, we've tried a lot of, quote, so-called healthy paths. And I've tried these so-called healthy paths since I was 20 years old. And even as a kid, I had a better diet than most of my friends. I was eating tons of vegetables from my grandparents' garden. I was not saying I didn't eat junk, but I was definitely not eating nearly the crap that all my friends were. I at least was eating real food for the most part. I'm not saying I didn't eat other stuff, but what I'm saying is at least I was eating vegetables and I was eating, you know, what I thought at the time was better whole grain breads, which no, I know better now, but at the time, right? And then my vegan years, disaster. And then I did the Weston Price thing for 15 years and I was hardcore. Hardcore didn't work for me at all. Didn't work for me at all. Did not align my body with health or healing. The raw milk was great for me though. Adding raw milk into my diet was really good. Adding more meat and adding meat into my diet after being vegan was good. I'm not saying those things weren't good. But I did not notice any radical improvements in my health other than the initial get me out of the vegan slump. So the meat and the raw dairy got me out of the vegan slump and I started to feel better. But then it plateaued. Despite I was eating tons of vegetables and, you know, fermenting and sprouting and doing all those things. And it didn't do anything for me. Actually, it was getting worse. I was getting progressively worse. My histamine disorder was getting worse. My mast cell issues were getting worse. And then I went carnivore and it was like, eureka, like what the hell? Like what the hell? And I just did it as an experiment. I really didn't even believe it. But again, I've talked about this in other videos that are gone now, but how I accidentally did carnivore when I was having Lyme, and it's not like, I say accident, meaning I didn't do it on purpose. It was just I woke up one day and all I craved was meat and milk. So I did that for 3 months and I basically healed my Lyme. It was like super crazy and it was like radical. It was crazy, crazy. But then I went back to vegetables, and slowly but surely my health started to kind of rock a little bit, and then would do the meat and milk again thing for a couple of months, feel great, and then add a few vegetables back in, and it would start to rock again. And did that for a while, kind of played back and forth, and then I got to the point where my nose was running 24/7, and it was just insane. I thought I had a cerebral spinal leak, and I've talked about this again in other videos. I thought I had a leak of cerebral spinal fluid. That's how bad it was. It just dripped saline liquid out my nose 24/7. Everywhere I went, I had to go with, I literally would have like 3 boxes of tissues in my car. I couldn't go anywhere. My nose would just run like a faucet. Everywhere I went, I had to have tissues in my hand, and I had to constantly do this, constantly. It was annoying, embarrassing, yes, crazy. No, I didn't go to the doctors because I don't give a shit what they have to say. If I have a leak, I'm not having a stitch. No, it'll just come out my nose until I fix it. Until I fix it. And I finally got frustrated enough that when I tried carnivore, it was the first thing I noticed is my nose stopped running. So now I don't really think it was a leak. I think it was just the histamine reaction and the mast cell, but it literally stopped. So my body was reacting badly to vegetables, because at that stage of my life, I was only eating meat and vegetables, meat, raw milk, and vegetables. And yes, I've done the give up dairy thing multiple times throughout my journey. I've been drinking raw milk for 20 years, and I have gone months without dairy. Dairy does me good. I do better, significantly better on dairy. Dairy loves me, and I love dairy. But it has to be raw. I don't do well with it pasteurized. My body does not do well with pasteurized dairy, but it does phenomenally well with raw milk. And I do credit raw milk to actually saving my life at a time in my life when I was like legit, things weren't good. We're talking ER, things not good. Yeah. So anyway, I love raw milk, me personally. But whenever I try to comment about my journey, and I try to comment about my own healing experiences, and then the people that I've helped over the years and what I've suggested to them, when I talk about the agenda, when I talk about the dark side of a lot of the things being promoted in the mainstream world right now, even though people think it's the alternative world. Nope. If you're not being censored, you're pumping the agenda, even though you don't think you are. Because you think, oh, I got this little pocket of truth. I'm going to be talking about this, and oh, look, I've got thousands of followers or 1 million followers or whatever the hell your deal is, and you really think that that's threatening? It's not threatening. It's not threatening at all. So if you're not getting censored, you're not doing enough. You're not on the right road. I'm sorry. This is just the way it goes. If you are not getting constantly censored, you are not on the right road. I mean, how obvious is that? Like, why am I getting censored? Who has like very little following, very little. I have 230 something subscribers, and I don't even think they're all watching my videos because my videos aren't getting many views. So who the hell am I? Nobody. But clearly they do not like my content. I don't want to hear, oh, it's because you swear. You know what? Fuck you. That's freedom of speech. I should be able to swear. I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want. Because if we lived in a free world, I would be able to swear. I love swears. I always have as a kid. I've been swearing since I was a kid. This is funny. My daughter sent me this TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. But she sent me this little thing. And it was this little girl. She's little. And she's talking to her mother. And she's like, I tired. I'm going to take a fucking nap. And the mother goes, we don't say that word. She goes, what word? We don't say that word. What you just said. She goes, I didn't say a bad word. Like, she keeps saying it. And she goes, well, what did you just say? She said, I said I tired. Well, what else did you say? I take a fucking nap. And she's like, that's a bad word. It's not a bad word. She goes, Daddy, is that a bad word? He goes, yeah, that's a bad word. And I'm just laughing because, like, I said to my daughter, right, I agree with that little girl. It's not a bad word. It's a word. It's a word. It's a word that has power. And why are we being told that words that carry power and passion, right? It's really passion. It means I'm feeling kind of passionate right now. I'm feeling more than just a normal baseline zombie feeling. I'm actually really feeling something. And I'm going to say fuck right now because I'm passionate. I'm fired up, right? Or like if you're walking down the street and you step in, a pile of dog shit and you're like, oh shit, or oh fuck, Oh, gee, I just stepped in dog poop. And it cracks me up because people will say, oh, fudge. They'll say fudge instead of fuck, but you know the intention is the same. So what, a couple letters make a difference? This is what I'm saying. People are insane. Like insane. Who conditioned you to believe that? You're operating out of a matrix program. And it seems like it's everybody. It's everybody, except for like a few people. I have a few people that I can actually have real conversations with, just a few, because most people have zero critical thinking skills. They have bought the program and they are living on the surface of their being and their life. And it's really, really sad. And here I am trying to like put stuff out there, and I am constantly getting strikes, censored, and banned. Again, I'm not woe is me, boo-hoo. I've known this world is terrible my whole life. I was born knowing this. It's just really frustrating because I was hoping to continue this channel. And I was trying to think of ways to be able to do it without really sacrificing too much of who I am and what my goal is. And I realized I can't do it. I've made about 20 videos prior to putting this one out. And I just keep deleting them because I'm like, no, here we go again. See, I cannot put a video out without talking about something controversial. I'm slamming it all of it. All the nonsense that I hear out there, all of the nonsense that I see. And so I'm just going to leave you with this. And again, I am going to keep my channel open. I may occasionally post a video or something, but as it stands now, there's just no place for me. There's no place for me at all to be able to say what I want to say. So I'm just going to leave you with this. If you're listening to something on YouTube or any other social media platform, and it's not getting censored or banned, you need to ask yourself, how does this information really matter in the grand scheme of things, knowing what's happening on the planetary level and what's going on with humanity right now and the planet and everything going on? How is that information relevant to what is really going on? Really, really going on. The stuff that's under the surface. And they're trying to manipulate you like a little puppet master. Does it really get to the root of it? And is it really talking about things that really matter? And I'm going to tell you it's no. And it's the only reason I came on YouTube. And I should have known better. I did, right? I got my first strike pretty quickly. And I was like, can't say that. So then I tried not to say that. Then I got my second strike and I was like, okay, got to dance around this too. Then they started striking all my natural health videos, medical misinformation. And I was like, yeah, but yeah, this is crazy, because that's a huge part of what I do. Helping people to heal themselves, giving people information so that they can empower themselves and free themselves from the medical system. Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. And yeah, there's other herbalists out there. There's other herbalists out there putting stuff out there. I get it. I feel like they don't go far enough though. And that's why they're able to do it. They just don't go far enough. I'm not saying everything they're saying is not valuable. It's not what I'm saying at all. It doesn't go far enough. And I pushed the boundaries, and look where it got me. And you know, it would be really easy for me to think that people didn't like my content, but I mentioned this in my other video, is that I had people literally like reaching out to me and like, where are you? Like, you know, I love your channel. I get so much information out of your channel. I love your channel. You know, and I had people that really loved the skincare videos, and then people that really loved the other stuff, the deep stuff. Even though the skincare videos, I try to throw it in, the whole transhuman agenda and the CRISPR technology, I would try to throw it in, what they're trying to do to humans. I would always try to throw it in. But I do know there's an audience for it. But you gotta like my style, which is raw, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about image. I don't care. I'm all about content. And you either like the information and find it valuable or you don't. I'm not pretending and I'm not playing Matrix games. Cussing and don't cuss. You can't cuss. Why? Why? Says who? Who made that rule? I'm not interested. I'm not hurting anybody. If swearing offends you or hurts your feelings, you're pathetic. Like, really. I'm sorry. Like, really. It's a word. It's a word. Alrighty, what are we at? 25 minutes? Yeah, I've been blabbing long enough. So, I'm not going to wipe my channel out completely yet, meaning I'm not going to delete the channel completely. I just don't have any videos posted. I have a couple of shorts that I left up just because I forgot to delete them. But I'm going to leave the shorts there. I'll leave them. Just in case you need a little reminder of something, you can go watch one of those shorts. But yeah, every time I criticize a dermatologist for their erroneous, arrogant, ignorant statements, I get deleted, censored. Every time I challenge the nicotine is good for you narrative, deleted. Take sodium bicarbonate to neutralize acid in your stomach. Why you might not want to do that, deleted. Peptides, stem cells, getting them injected into your skin, retinols. You might want to consider this before you decide to do those things. Deleted. Talk about a study that they did where they studied people who drive in trucks and found that when the windows are rolled up, they don't see the aging and the photo damage to the skin. The sun damage, the photo aging, they don't see it with the windows rolled up. But they do see it with the windows rolled down, which people are thinking long and hard about whether or not UVA is even a problem for the skin at all. You can't really compare it to tanning beds because the UVA that we are exposed to is relatively low. But if you're in a tanning bed, it's going to be very high. And the UVA stays consistent throughout the day. It's the UVB that does the peak, right? But the UVA stays consistent and it's quite low. And outside of a laboratory, they have not been able to show that daily UVA exposure on the skin is harmful. They just haven't been able to prove it. Now, again, I'm really cautious to not say something as a fact. Some things are facts. Some things are facts, okay? But some things are like, well, this is where it's leaning, and there's like an abundance of evidence or, you know, whatever, but we need to call it out for what it is. Like chemical sunscreens, meaning man-made chemicals, okay? They call them organic sunscreens, but that gets confusing because people associate organic with natural, but that's not what it means when it comes to sunscreens, okay? Organic chemical sunscreens, when they claim they're safe, they don't have a leg to fucking stand on. There's no information anywhere, no science anywhere that supports that claim. None. Zero. So they're lying. And then they'll say, well, we don't know if they're safe, but we know the sun is bad. Oh, is that your rationale? Really? We really don't know if this is harmful for you, but do it anyway because we know the sun is harmful for you. This is the people that people trust. These are the people that other people trust. This is terrifying. It's terrifying. Oh, they've been out for a while. They've been out for a while. And guess what's been increasing rapidly? Cancer, autoimmune disease, almost every disease on the planet. Childhood disease skyrocketing, childhood cancer skyrocketing. We know two kids with glioblastomas within my little circle. Terrifying. fucking terrifying. And I don't think they're giving us the right stats when it comes to that. I don't think they're giving the right stats, because between my husband and I, and these are people I knew too. So it's not like, I'm not saying like my husband knew these people and I didn't. I'm saying between my husband and I, people that we know as the two of us, we know 6 people that have died of glioblastomas. That's my own little circle. I'm thinking the rate's a lot higher than what we're being told. They just don't want to like alarm people. And it's probably cell phones and cell towers, and in combination with other things, it could be all the shit they're spraying in the sky and stuff too. Who knows? But yeah, but I can't make any of these comments. Nowhere. They get wiped. So it's frustrating and maddening. So a part of me kind of feels like, well, maybe the universe is just getting me to focus my attention elsewhere. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm just not quite sure what direction to take. Maybe it's just game over. Maybe the game's already over. People either get it or they don't. The worlds are splitting, and maybe the universe is just like, don't bother anymore. Don't bother anymore. They either get it or they don't, and the window has closed. So maybe that's what's happening. And the universe is just like, don't bother. Don't bother investing over here anymore, because you've helped as many people as you could help, but there's no more time for that. It's almost like everything is collapsing and it's time to like really act, and there's no more. People either get it or they don't get it. So I'm wondering if maybe that's really what it is, and maybe it's just timing. So I hope that I hope that I helped at least a few of you to become more confident in yourself, in your own being. Trust your own instincts and your own intuition, because I think it's go time. All right? Maybe not this moment, but overall. And we have to always do what's right, no matter what. We got to do what's right in the moment for that situation. And I'm not saying don't ever lie. Sometimes lying will save you. Lie away. Never taught my kids to never lie. You shouldn't be either. You lie when it can save you, save somebody else, protect somebody. You lie. You lie if the option is harm. You lie. Or if you just don't want to deal with the consequences of something. Like if you have to go to the ER during you know what, and they ask you if you got the you know what, you say yes. You say yes. Because why? Why would you want to go there? Why? Why? It could potentially lead you to die. Okay? Don't do it. And I'm going to leave you with this. So my girlfriend is a surgical tech at a big hospital, to Trauma One Center. Big hospital. Who did not get and she got a lot of crap for it. They all did. Everybody around her got it. They're all zombies, all of them. So if you think anybody left over in the hospital right now is good, they're nuts. Not saying you won't get a good doctor every now and then. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is they're nuts. They drank the Kool-Aid. They're done for. There was a woman who came in who was pregnant. She was 28 years old. She had some kind of heart condition. When the nurses who were treating her found out that she didn't get this, they let her die. They didn't even try to help her. They had such disdain for her that her and her baby died. She was really sick with the flu or whatever. And because she didn't get this, they ignored her and didn't give her the care that she needed. And she ended up dying. And my girlfriend was horrified. I'm like, see, I would have started swinging, I'd probably be in jail right now because I would have ripped the nurse's fucking head off. Like, I would have lost my shit. I would have caused a ruckus. I would have caused a scene. I would have been screaming and yelling at people and telling them to get their fucking shit together. I would have called someone. I would have called the police. I would have done something. I would have done something. It's absolute medical neglect. But this is real. And if you think it's not real, you're a fool. You're a fool. And again, I'm not saying everyone is like this, but there's a lot of them who are. They think that they're right and you're wrong, and they will actually withhold care from you if they think you did something that they didn't agree with. Like, heaven forbid you bring your sick baby in, but your kid doesn't have a gazillion vaccines, right? No. You tell them what they want to hear to keep you safe and keep your children safe and to keep our loved ones safe. Yeah. I'll never be popular, and that's okay. Signing out.